All right, so today or tonight for me, what we are going to see. So I'm going to give you a small presentation. It's really like 10 minutes about why commodity brokering is dead, why you shouldn't do that, why you shouldn't waste any second of your life doing it. I'm going to attack it with different angle. If you're not, I mean, if you don't agree with me, I'm happy to debate it afterward. And after this 10 minutes presentation, then obviously I will take I will take all of your questions. And obviously, man, I already see this question. Firstly, why did you shave off your beard? Exactly, this is a very good question because I've never been that ugly in my entire life. Look at this, man. I'm so fucking ugly. I will let my beard again, and I will never shave again in my entire life. I'm so ugly. So this was a mistake, shaving. But all right, guys, let's do this, and then I'll jump on the Q&A. So again, 10, 15 minutes. I will go through the presentation, and then I will take your question. All right. So, bam. So broker model. So if you are new to this channel, my name is Damien Vurson. I've been involved in the physical commodity trading world for more than 15 years. It's a bunch of pictures of me when I was young. You see, when I was young, I had no beard, but I was better looking, I guess. And yes, so I run a bunch of platform, spend a lot of time in Asia and in Africa, shipping commodities. All right, and also the founder of the Shipping Commodity Academy. So if you want to learn, if you want to break into the physical commodity trading game, you can see there should be a link below this video, and then you can enroll as a student. We have students that now work for all the big commodity trading company, really all of it, Trafigura, Vitol, Mercuria, I mean, all of them. And also, I would say like 20, 30, 25% of them started their own company. So, all right, so broken model. I'm laughing because I'm looking at the comment about the shaving. Man, that was a mistake. That anyway. All right, why commodity brokering is dead? So, if you are the type of people that look at those messages on LinkedIn and think that there is probably a great opportunity for you to do something, please, man, I will save your life. All right, this is all bullshit. So if when you see this, you don't know if there is an opportunity or nothing, it means that you are not educated enough because all of that is complete bullshit. All right, as Nicolas Maza said, this is dog shit. Thank you. All right, so yes, something very important. So you see here, this is a picture of me, of my vlogs, where you can see me on a business class. So this is what a broker will never be able to do, flying business. Because you know what? Because brokers don't make money, all right? So they won't do it. Let's be difficult. All right. Let's get started. So first thing that I'm going to eat is trader versus broker. So what is the difference? I'm just going to make it quick. Then why brokering model is the worst business model, why it's even worse for beginners, and why even if you succeed to close a deal as a broker, you will lose anyway. All right, so let's tackle the first point, trader versus broker. So traders take risk, and for that, they earn a margin. All right. Brokers take zero risk and earn a commission. So it's very, very important to understand. At no point in the supply chain, a broker will take risk. All right. This is why they earn a commission. And a trader, at a certain point in the supply chain, they will take minimal risk or a large amount of risk, but they will take risk. So it's completely different. So traders bring value to the market by taking risk on them. So international trade is inherently risky. You have buyers, you have sellers, and the traders will be in between them because they will take the risk of their buyer, take the risk of the sellers, and take the risk on them. This is why they bring value to the market. Then brokers try to bring value to the market by putting counterparties together. So finding a buyer, finding a seller, and putting them together and trying to make them trade together and take a commission. But yes, well, but I'm bringing try to because this does not provide any value in today's world. One thing is also here, I'm not speaking about paper brokers. So obviously, if you trade any type of futures financial or weird financials, then you will maybe speak with the brokers on the phone that try to find for you a counterparty for these futures. So here there is maybe still some value. There is maybe also some value in very weird brokerage business, like plain broker. Like if you need to buy a jet, sell a jet, maybe there is some value as a broker. Ship, obviously ship brokers, big industry. So when there is like extreme complexity, maybe there is some sense for brokering. But even for them, the world doesn't go in their direction. All right, so the worst business model. So here is a book that I recommend to everybody. It's How to Make a Few $1 billion. So this guy, Brian Jacobson, built, all right, but anyway, built $5 billion company. Not one, not two, five. This guy is a beast. And what is funny is like so I read the book. Actually, you should buy the book. It's a great book. He had a brokerage business, but you know what he did with his brokerage business? He sold it in 1983. All right, in 1983, if you read this book, you will see that he will tell you that he didn't see like any futures or any business value is in having a brokerage business. I think his brokerage was oil. In 1983, he sold it because he said this is dog shit. There is no more value in this, right? And now, 15 years later, there's still some people that are trying to make it happen. Anyway, so how do you bring value as a broker? So basically, as a broker, you try, there's one seller here, one buyer here, and you try to put a deal together by putting the two parties in together. Let's say that you succeed. For whatever reason, you succeed. Then the issue with the business model is that for all the subsequent deals, so each time these suppliers and these buyers will deal, your value is negative. All right, so that means that once you've concluded the first one, then the first thing that those guys want to do with you is getting rid of you, because you don't de-risk the transaction. You just make the transaction more expensive. So this is very, very important to understand. This is why it doesn't work, because you are going to put all the work to make one fucking deal, and then when you will need to reap the real value of your work by recurring contract. The only thing that those two guys want is to get rid of you, because you don't bring any value. You are negative. So basically, this business model doesn't really make sense, because once after the first transaction, you are negative for both of them. So they want to beat the shit out of you. So, and this is very, very important to understand, because in a better business model, all the parties have the same incentive. And in that case, you are fighting both parties. It's completely stupid. So this is why you, as a broker, you will never reach like this compounding effect, like that you could reach as a trader or in any other business model, let's say, because each time you need to go back to zero, because you provide negative value to the marketplace. Very, very important to understand. So you won't be able to do that, because it just doesn't work. So, second point, this business model is even worse for beginners. So this guy sent me this email. Hey, Damien, blah, blah, blah. So I remove his email and his name. Basically, was offering me like copper cathode at LME minus 18% net. So for anybody that have like, I don't want to be too insulting. So for like anybody that knows a little bit the copper business, this is not possible. This LME minus 18% is complete bullshit. Maybe, okay, all right, maybe this guy that sent it to me doesn't know that, all right? But what does it mean? It means that next time this guy sends something to me, I will just check my email and say, oh, right, this is the guy that sent me this nonsense of minus 18% LME 1 year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever. So, and you can see this is the 7th of August, because I receive nonsense like this like at least like once a week. All right, so it's very, very bad, because it destroys your reputation from day one, because you don't know what you are doing. All right, so then there's maybe good relationship that you may foster, but just by being clueless, you will just destroy them. So it's not good because it's not like you have infinite buyers and sellers of any commodity. So this is why I'm calling it the reputational trap, because if you are not very careful, you will basically destroy any possibility for you to do real deal in the future just because you don't know enough, and you will burn your name. But just being not a joker, but man, you just don't know what you're talking about. Again, all those guys, same story. The broker world is saturated with fake offers and time waster. And this is something completely new, man. Because I started commodity trading 15 years ago. There were no LinkedIn back then, all right? There were no WhatsApp group with nonsense. So it's really this new world. It's completely crazy. I don't know down the line. I guess there's a scam, or I don't know if people that doesn't know I don't know what there is down the line. But anyway, so this LinkedIn stuff, man, crazy. So and even if you are serious, you'll be lumped into the joker broker category. All right, it happens daily. So just have that in mind, man. You have only one name, man. So be careful with it. Second point, for the beginners, you don't develop the right skills. And this is also very important to understand. Like, as a beginner, okay, you need to learn 3 core things in common if you want to be international business. The first one is logistics. You need to understand how logistics work, right? How you book containers, when you need to call your freight forwarder, your customs, the documents. You need to understand all of that. It's very important. Second point is finance. Extremely important part of the commodity trading. How do you finance your trade? Is like how factoring work, how prepayment works, how letter of credit works. All of that, man. You need to understand it. You won't learn it as a broker. And last point is risk management, because at the end of the day, the only value that is left in today's world, because today's world is extremely transparent, is who can take the risk on them. As a broker, you don't take any risk. All right, so you bring no value to the supply chain. Then you don't learn the most important skill, which is risk management. It's like, how do you assess your counterparty? My first boss, she used to say, but Damien, how do you feel it? In French, she used to say, Damien, comment tu le sens? That how do you feel the guy? But as a broker, you don't need to feel the guy. You take no risk. All right. And last point is you chase shadows. So I will confess something tonight. All right. I did broke a deal. Once in my entire life, I did broke a deal. So I confess it. I did it. All right. So, but let me explain the deal. So then you will understand my point. So the deal was, I had a guy that I knew, and I didn't know it that well. He called me up and said, look, Damien, there's this buyer in Ivory Coast. They are looking for sweet whey powder. Sweet whey powder is basically something that is whey powder is basically like something that you can dry. It's a liquid when you make a cheese, all right, that you can get in big dairy farm. They have sweet whey powder. And he said, look, I know that you've been doing dairy for years. So do you have maybe a supplier for him? Well, I was like, yeah, all right, man. First of all, and then I remember I said to him, like, look, man, this shit doesn't make sense. Nobody buys sweet whey powder in Ivory Coast. This is something only for like factories and so on. And then the guy, I said, no, Damien, you need to believe me. It's a big yogurt manufacturer. They want sweet whey powder. It's not bullshit, guys. But all right. I checked if the buyer was real, if everything was real. And then, it's standard. I spoke with the guy. I spoke with the procurement manager. And it makes sense. I was, all right. As I did commodity trading for dairy trading, right, for more than 10 years, I knew exactly where you can find the cheapest sweet whey powder. And at the time, it was in Belarus. All right, so I called my friend. Actually, I can give them a name. It's a company called Navigator from Estonia. They know very well Belarus. They've been working with them for years. So I knew that. So instead of going direct with Belarus, I called my friend and said, look, man, this guy, can you quote me something out of, I'm not going to give the name of the factory, but out of those guys. So, all right, Damien, let me get you something. I was in the middle of the thing, and then I said to my friend, look, man, try to do the deal, man. I don't want to be involved. And the reason is like I had to be involved because my friend from Estonia didn't speak French, and the guy in Ivory Coast could only speak French. So I was like, all right, so let me be involved. But if I'm involved, then I want to get a cut. I said, okay. And then I broke the deal. And just to explain, this deal was possible because I had a superior knowledge of all the other people in this deal. I had a superior knowledge than my friend in Estonia about the West African market. And I had a superior knowledge than the buyer in West Africa about where to buy the sweet whey powder and with the best guy to buy from them. So again, I was able to close this deal because I had superior knowledge. And this is not possible if you if you're a beginner, right? Okay. So just have that in mind. And yeah, the reason I broke the deal is because I had superior knowledge and expertise of the market than any other participant in that deal. So obviously, if you have extremely deep knowledge, and for me, I did the West African dairy product for 10 years. 10 years, I spent months there. I know everything. All right, so this is why I was able to do that. Yeah, last point, even if you succeed, you could lose. So how can you be sure that your commission will be paid? Honestly, guys, how? So you're going to say like oh yes, I'll sign a contract. Oh, I believe the guy. Man, let's be honest, man. If you sign a contract and you have no leverage to execute this contract if the counterparty of the contract doesn't follow through, then you have nothing. All right? Especially international company, they know extremely well that. So if you need to get like a commission of $7,000 and they don't pay you $7,000, and this is a company in Indonesia, this is a company, even a company in Germany, man. How much is it going to cost you to get those $7,000? Way more if you need to hire lawyers and so on. So honestly, man, you have no leverage to even get paid for your job. It's awful. It's awful. You need to count on the good will of people, man. So anyway, it's everything is bad with the business model. So yes, why commodity brokering is dead? So structural failure, business model doesn't make sense. Negative value, no leverage, no compounding. Very stupid to do that. It's a beginner's trap. Again, you are not building the right knowledge, and you have no chance to make money. And reputation and trust failure, you're seen as a joker, even though you mean well, man, and you burn legit contract. All right, so I think I made my plan. Now you can say how wrong I am. And yeah, so let's start with the Q&A session, man. All right, let's take the questions. Oh man, this mistake. All right, so let's see. Hello, Mohamed. Hello, Nikolai. Hello, Elton. Hello. Hello, Sami. Hello, Yanis. Up. Saido. Hey, Nicola. Hello, Nicola. Hello, Sayed. Sayed, members also the shipping community. Apparently, yo, Damien, you got the jambon look. Man, I don't know. I think I got the fat look, man. Not the jambon. All right. Mohamed, why is it difficult to import soft and perishable commodity due to regulation from Custom and Department of Agriculture in a country, and how to work around it? Man, I don't think it's difficult. You just need to follow the rules, man. That's it, man. You need to get all the regulation and know exactly what you need to do. But tell me which country, man. Which country? Maybe I know. What happened to your podcast? So buzziness. But I think Nicolas has maybe some news about it. Yes, I agree. I agree also. I agree. All right. Is there like any question? So you make to sign? Yes, you make to sign like a contract when you don't. Exactly. All right. So, but what about a startup with no capital? All right, Michael. Very, very good question, because this is a question that everybody asks me. Man, so obviously, when you don't have money, there's three ways, all right, to get money. You can get money from your buyer. You do prepayment. You ask them for prepayment, 20% upfront, 80% afterward. Most of the trade that I do, guys, are like this. You can ask for that's pretty much it. You can get money from the buyers. You can get another trading company to front your trade. So basically, you have the trade. You ask them to carry them, so not front, but to carry your trade. This is another possibility. You can get an investor. So look, this is a trade that I have. I need this amount of money. I will share the profit with you. And there's a lot of ways actually, man, to get the money, man. But yeah. So, but I think being a broker, this is why you shouldn't. Because honestly, the deal is an easy part, man. So raising capital is maybe the most difficult. Chasing Chadwell, yeah, exactly. This is why the model is dead, because the info is ready and available. Yes, exactly. I mean, when that guy had a brokerage firm, oil brokerage firm in the 80s, he made a shit of the money because he had an asymmetry of information. Now the world is so flat. There is no asymmetry of information available for brokers. So this is why you can make, if you have like extreme knowledge about a market, like I did with dairy market, I was able to broker a deal because I had asymmetry and voltage. But it's because I worked there for 10 years. We are a trading company with an experienced trader who now brokers. Connect us to a vetted supplier I work directly with. Is it brokering? Man, in that case, yes, man. It's this is maybe the only thing that works is like ex trader that have deep knowledge, and then they get a cut. But even for him, it's a very shitty business model. Honestly, I know a lot of experienced guys that try to be a broker. They do few deals, then man, they are negative. So people cut him out eventually. So even for him, it's a very bad thing to do. Did you do daily burpees? Man, obviously I don't. What is the worst transaction that you ever seen? The worst? I don't know, man. Because honestly, I don't really spend time with brokers. When I see that this is it, like the guy called himself mandate, intermediary, whatever shit, man, I just don't pursue it. Okay, and then I don't reply. What about committed work? Yeah, okay, but those guys, man, they're like it's different. All right. So I think they do paper. So they will do OTC. They will help you with your those paper trade. But also, there's some time, or in some market, like let's say Black Sea before the war, right? Black Sea for grain, extremely competitive market. There is maybe 10 real buyers and sellers, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 15. And sometimes some of them will try to take position. Let's say Cargill want to take a position, Costco want to take a position, whatever. And they doesn't want the other guys to know what they are doing. So in that case, they will use brokers, but those institutional brokers like that to hide what they are doing. And again, it's short-lived. So to begin as a trader, to begin as a trader, there's a link below this video. It's called 0 to 1. It's like 1 hour video when I explain the method. Or you can join the academy. Hello, Damien. How is it difficult to make it to trader at a top house? It's very difficult. I can tell you, man. Honestly, the friends that are traders at top houses, trading houses, man, they are not dumb, and they work a lot. so it's not easy, but it's not impossible. But it's not easy. The podcast is coming back. Wow. Hi, Damien. What do you think about using transferable LC for brokerage deal? It's all right, man. There's no transferable LC, man. No banks will accept to do a transferable LC. All right, the receiving bank, your bank, is never going to accept to do a transferable LC. This, maybe you can issue a transferable LC, no problem, but no bank will do transferable LC. Maybe not no bank, but it's extremely unlikely. What if the product is very competitive in price when we add? Man, honestly, man, if the product is very competitive and you are speaking about commodities, it's just weird. Like it shouldn't. Usually, market are pretty much the same. But yeah, man. So if the product is really competitive, make the trade. If you can really offer an extremely competitive price, make the trade. The buyer will gladly pay 20% upfront if it's really competitive. The only time broking works if the broker has a personal relationship with one of the both. Yep, that's All right, this is also, I mean, I know. I mean, broker is like another word for like bribery, but yes, exactly. Gold trading is so, but yeah, don't trade gold. It doesn't. Don't. Also, other LinkedIn posts, those breakers have no industry experience, wasting your time. I don't know why. Yes, man. You know what, Yanis? I think I thought about that. I even wanted to make a video, a YouTube video, like trying to pursue this, man, and to see what is really behind it. And the problem is like I had no time to waste, so I don't. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think this is two things. There's maybe one, scammers that use those clueless broker to maybe get something out of it. Sometimes maybe they will ask you to pay like $2,000 for a license or some bullshit to scam you a little bit. And then the second point is maybe it's like a buyer who said like, man, obviously if you give me that price so low, I will buy. And then the guys think that he has something, and then he unleashed like a wave of people that are dreaming of fast money, man. And how do you best? No, don't. So that the topic of the go is going like mostly. What about the contract? How exchange contract work? Price fixation. Okay, so it's the course is mostly about logistic. We have like a little module about finance, but the thing is, financial stuff you can find it everywhere on YouTube. Like for this, this is why we did not focus on it. We mostly focus on how to move the good from point A to point B. Most of my trade items to be paid LC in LC later. Most buyer don't like to do. Yeah, I don't know, man. Depend. I can. There's Nicolas Maza. It would tell you, man. It's most of the people prefer to do TT than LC, man. But maybe it depends on the industry. Because the problem is like we are LC, they will need to. But yeah, okay, it depends. Turkey trying to get a subcommittee in and had a weary for depth of agriculture. I spoke to 2 hours on the phone. Each reported directly to another one. Yeah, man, it's yeah, man. Maybe you try to speak with a freight forwarder that already imported, a custom agent that already imported, and they will tell you exactly the document that they need. Gold trade is scary, exactly. Honestly, guys, about this gold stuff, most of the gold is already pre-sold before it's even mined. So all those artisanal miners and so on, yeah, don't waste your time. All right. How did you raise capital to your How did you raise capital to start your own business? I started few businesses, different ways. Sometimes it was with a bunch of investors that put money. Sometimes it was with no capital at all, or only my capital, only mine and my partner capital. I had two businesses. I started with zero money, trading businesses, and we made a lot. Actually, it's even the worst thing. I would. Okay. So the two businesses that I started with no outside capital, nothing. Really, this is the two businesses that made the most money. And the other one, man, it was a shit show. Then we break it up. Anyway, so. Hi, Damian. What is the perfect and best university for big commodity trading companies? I don't know, man. LSE, I mean, big names, I guess, but yeah, there's not like one particular. I think the London LSE is good. I mean, all the big names, it's not bad. How to deal with flaky buyers? I made an amazing deal with a seller. Buyers agreed, then changed his mind last minute. How to stop that? I don't know, dude. How to stop it? Just go to his house with a gun and maybe no, but I mean, kidding. But no, man. Did you how much time did you met the? How much? I guess he basically had cold feet. So why did he have cold feet? This is the question that you need to answer yourself. Like, don't say, "Oh, flaky buyers." It's like, no. What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong to make him behave like that? This is the correct question that you need to ask yourself. How many times did you see the guy? How many hours did you spend with him? I can tell you, if you spend like 20 hours with someone, they are not going to be flaky like this. I mean, there is less chance. So that the question, the real question that you should ask yourself is, what did you do wrong to make him be flaky? Hi, man. What is if the commodity is very price competitive while I need to build a portfolio as a new player in the market? Man, no. So if you want to build your place in the market and the commodity is very competitive, then maybe take no margin. Maybe work on break even margin for a while until your name gets known. That could be, but it depends. It really depends on you. What is your company? What do you do, and so on? Can you work on negative margin or not? Maybe this is what you need to know. Going to call them again tomorrow as it become closing. Yeah, man. Oh man, there's a lot of questions. So yeah, all of you, thanks a lot for being here. I will try to do more live because you know what, I like it. All right, George Wang Hang Xiang. Hey Damien, should I start talking to someone in a big supply company so that I know exactly what he can give me, or should I take first to a buyer? But I wouldn't know what I can sell him exactly. Exactly. Speak first with a buyer, and you tell him, man, I've just started. I want to start an import-export company, blah, blah, blah. This is the whole pitch on the video, like 0 to 1 on my channel. But yeah, man, you need to start with a buyer. Don't waste your time with a supplier. It's completely useless. All suppliers say, yes, sure, you can buy my stuff, here's the price. Then what do? You need to chase someone. Like, it doesn't work that way. The world is transparent, the world is flat. So you find a buyer, whatever he wants, and then you look for what he is looking for. But you are mandate. No, man, what the fuck? I'm not mandate broker, man. This is an insult, man. Aaron, man, last time, man. You don't insult me on my channel, man. Because you're not the end buyer or supply. No, dude, it's or honestly, look back at what I said at the beginning. A trader takes risk, all right? You take ownership of the good and you take risk on yourself. A broker put two people together and make commission. So, man, ask ChatGPT to explain to you the difference, maybe, if I'm not clear enough. But don't insult me. If you said mandate, man, when you see LOI, mandate, procedure, ambassador, ICPO, in the same delete. Exactly. Yes, exactly. But you know, the funny thing, like, man, I didn't even know, man, why ICPO in. I don't know what it means. I never cared, honestly, because this is bullshit. This is bullshit, man. I closed for millions of deals without knowing what this means. Or procedure, man. The procedure is the funniest. All right. Brokerage isn't really a business, more like a sighting. Yeah, but even if you got strong connection, you just pass the deal on, take a small cut for being like, and then also when you're a trader. Yeah, man. All right, but you need to have like strong connection, and people don't understand. It's not even connection, Sayed. It's like you need to, because the guy is going to give you free money just for putting people together. Today's world is so easy, man. You ask Google, we have WhatsApp, everything is free, man. You don't need someone that tell, hey, go there to buy that, man. The value is not there. So if you have strong connection, it's really like it's your family, and the guy wants to give you free money. So you will made up an idea. It's like, yeah, okay, you will connect me to that guy. All right, you can get a cut, maybe. Do you agree specializing in one or two products to begin would be the smartest route? Yes, definitely. Definitely. So how do you best navigate a gold trade, especially when the buyer are not willing to put any upfront cost and so on? No, so don't do that, man. It's like so you need to be a trader then. If you who is need to carry the risk, man? Mr. M, you should carry the risk, right? Why you ask other people to carry the risk for a gold trade that is never going to happen? Man. This is a oh guys, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. It's not possible, right? Is it LinkedIn that is like leaking over here, right? All right. I used to be a broker until 6 months ago. The deal is that you must know your market and have a very good relationship with the supplier. All right, Nicolas. We need to make the contract between them. The commission will pay by the supplier, but you must know your craft and specialize in it. Yes. Obviously, man. But why did you stop then? probably. All type of accept. All right. Did yes, for sure, man, for sure. But the company was one of the in the business in this dying, but still relationship matter. All right. Yes. So, man, telling you, one of these in the business, it's dying. All right. The brokerage is dying, man. It's not. It's not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not saying bullshit. How do you land that job as a trader or assistant trader in a trading house without prior experience? So first step, man, you can maybe take the Shipping Commodity Academy Operator Certificate. This is what we do. It's one of our business. So this. Do some video. Hey, man, what is the perfect university and degree for top commodity trading companies? Man, I've already said it. Hey, man, I'm just starting out, but I already have many friends who are in non-ferrous trading business. Since they are already successful, how can I best take advantage of this network? Man, you know what? You should ask them. Ask them. Honestly, if this is really your friend, ask them, man, where do you see that there is an opportunity? And see what they say. Do big trading companies typically have account receivable analyst role responsible for ensuring that all the payments are received on time? Yes. Usually, yes. It's maybe not exactly that title, but usually, yes. Because when you have like so many payments, then you're missing them. So yes. But it's really only for big companies, honestly. Like not the smaller one. This is the way. Guys, do you know a buyer for some golds? All right. Okay. Do you know a buyer for some gold? The seller is a very famous company called Wagner. Very nice guys. Man. Nice guy, man. Like, invite them to have a tea with them. Very nice people. They have very entertaining story to tell. Forwarder is uncertain. Last time product was imported in the country is 18 months ago, and there is a decent niche demand for it. And my home country is largest supplier and product in the world. Yeah, man. Then you need to honestly, man. It seems that you have something. You did the work, and props to you, man, because you did the work. So you called the agent into, and now you just need to find a way to find it how to legally import it. But man, props to you. It seems like you have something. So I will really dig down. And you know, one thing, Mohammed, is like, if you found something which is difficult to do, like importing this product seems like not easy. Nobody knows really at the Ministry of Agriculture. They don't know what to tell you and so on. It means that there is something, because again, the more difficult it is, the more chance, the more people will just not try to do it because it's too difficult. I think you have something, man. I would carry on that, man. Saka is the only real way to learn this business. Thank you, Nicola. For a beginner, would it be better to rely on companies like Metaloop that handle the entire import process into Europe? I don't know Metaloop. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it a freight forwarding company? If that is the case, yes, man. It's easier to. Honestly, you will need to use a custom agent and a freight forwarder to import anything in Europe. So, yeah, I'm not sure because I don't know Metaloop. Hey, Damien, don't you think the brokerage business can become reinvented in a consulting model to add value for import-export? Yes, Franco. This is Franco. Yeah, exactly. I think this is a way, man. Yep. It makes more sense. And most of those guys, like very old, like traders, very experienced trader, that tried brokering, they move to that type of consulting agreement where they do like business development, or they do like, I don't know the thing, but it's more like a consultant than rather like a broker. So exactly, man. And they're moving to that not because they want to. It's because they see there is no value as a broker. So yes, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just you need to think what is the better business model will win at the end of the day. So you need to find what is your in your case. I had one guy, just to give you an idea. So also a experienced trader, did the brokerage stuff, didn't work, And then he basically started his like consultancy where he just basically explained to some scrap producer, like some big industry that produce scrap, said, look guys, if you buy this machine and you do this, you'll be able to sell your scrap at 25% more value. It will make you 2 million over the year. So the machine is this and that, and I can make that happen for you and take a fees. So it became like more like some type of consultant rather than just a broker. For someone who is beginning, can you give realistic capital requirement and which commodity sector best begin to allow you can... Let me read this again. For someone who is beginning, can you go over realistic capital requirement and which commodity sector best to begin that can allow you to scale and then get into other product? Man, all right. So first of all, the issue of like realistic, you need to have at least enough capital to do one lot of what you want to do. If you want to trade, like, I don't know, like cocoa powder, I don't know, what is the price of cocoa? I should take the price of something that I know. All right, if you want to trade something that costs 10,000 US dollar per metric ton and you trade it by container of 25 metric ton, then you need 250K. All right, you need to do, so you can buy at least one. So this is what I would do. If you want to do like wood pallet, like what I did, what Nicolas Maza is still doing. I don't know what is the price of a wood pallet truck right now. Wood pallet, it would be like 10K, something like this, 10,000 euro. So you need to have 10,000 euro. I think this is realistic. You need to start with at least enough capital to buy one by yourself. That's obviously the more the better, right? But that will be. And then in terms of product, man, it will depend of what are your buyers, who are your buyers, and then you will trade, you will sell to your buyers what they want. I can give an example, like when I worked for this company, Getty Trade. So we were mainly dairy trader, so milk powder, all those dairy products. But in West Africa, our client was also like dairy manufacturer, the yogurt manufacturer, like, and they needed like sugar, palm oil, cocoa powder, and so on. So then we would basically sell all of those to them because we already had the relationship with the client. Do you actively pitch your product to buyers, or do you mainly engage with buyers who are already in demand for your product? Yeah, man, you can't really create demand unless it's very, I don't know, unless it's a new thing. But no, you pitch people that are already using it. Additionally, I asked one forwarder, they said no, and another one, they said should be no problem. Yeah, man. Mohammed, yes, I know, man. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. You need to keep doing your research. Yeah, but try to speak with a custom, with a Turkish custom, and see what they say, because at the end of the day, they are the one that will allow the product to be in or not. We like the live. We want more, man. Yeah, I'll try to do more, man. Yeah, we can do that, man. Next week. To ship charcoal, I need to have approved shipper status, which means I need to use factory audit. All right. How do I keep my buyer and supplier blind to each other when I need to supply? But you can't, man. In that case, you can't. I did in dairy product. So in most of the food stuff, it's impossible to have the factory. I mean, there's like in Europe, and I think in most part of the world, there should be traceability for food product, because if there is like some virus, bacteria, or like some poison in one of the food element, we need to know where it's coming from. All right. So that's mean that in all the bag, there is like the name of the factory, where it's coming from, and so on. All right. So all buyers know exactly from which factory it's coming from. But we still are traders, and it doesn't mean that the trade cannot happen. Please suggest 5 the best jurisdiction for commodity trading. Is it better to set up source origin or market-based country? Man, it's a good question, and it completely depends on where are you on the supply chain. Are you going to be more agglomeration at origin or distribution at destination. It will depend a lot actually. And what is the best jurisdiction? Again, it depends on your market, man. Because if you deal with a lot of Asian-based clients, Singapore is probably good. Hong Kong, no problem. But you want to do that in Switzerland. If you were like, because and the main reason is about the bank, because the bank compliance is so heavy that if you make them work with jurisdiction that they don't like, or they deem that high risk, they will close your account. So it's very difficult to give like a good answer. But I would say, yeah, man, I would say like, yeah, I can't. Give me a bit more specific about what do you have in mind, and then I can give you what I think is the best. Dubai is good, but again, the bank in Dubai, there is no credit really. So maybe you want to have like open a company at destination, so then you can get credit line from local banks. It really depends about. Are the second materials able to watch forever? Yes, they are. I mean, as long as the company exists, yes. Should probably speak to freight forward knowledgeable in the business, warning best and listen experience. Yeah, man. Yeah. Isn't it a better path to start off as a broker, though? Man, I explained from the get-go. Why not? Asking because as a trader, one has to have much capital to manage deals, finance more upfront or directly. No, because try to push as a trader. Okay, put yourself as a trader, and when you speak about finance, you ask for prepayment, 20% prepayment, 30% prepayment, and so on. Hello. Transferable LC most of the time don't work. Yeah, exactly, man. It's like, man, do you know a lot of banks that are okay to transfer the LC to someone else? In starting with buyers, how do you know international price of commodities so you don't offer too low or too high? And there's like a lot of ways to know the prices. The best way is to there's a lot of price company that give you price. Platts, Fast Market, Argus, and so on, and they will give you the price. Hey, Damien, I stopped being a broker. I switched to niche trading and doing logistic as well. Better margin. Hey, you see, Nicolas. You see, Nicolas is a proof. All right. So, anyone looking for raw coffee beans? Here, contact. Not broker related, but how do you navigate bank compliance? First, to open your physical commodity trading. First, you will default into deal with risky countries. So, bank, at least. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Charles. This is exactly the problem. Yeah. All right. So, how do you do that? There are some ways that I can't give you online. But like for instance, if you want to do it in Switzerland, there's like a couple of small banks that are okay to do it. And the problem is like those banks are extremely expensive. But you can start with those banks and then you open an other account in another bank. This is what I would recommend you do. But yes, exactly, they won't open your account, and this is what people don't understand. Like this is why Europe is dying. There is no new company opening, no new small company opening, because the bank do not support them, and not supporting in terms of trade finance or credit line, not supporting in terms of just letting them do a payment. It's crazy, right? Exactly. But Switzerland, you can maybe use a SIM bank. They are in Oviv in Geneva. I've spoken to my freight forwarder and they told me to get the document pack and certificate in my name. I will need a power of attorney agreement, which is costly. I know that. Man, you can all right. You can redo all the document under your name, man, as long as you don't make as long as you don't do okay. You can redo packing list. I mean, you can redo packing list and a lot of documents under your own name, all right? As long as you just copy paste exactly the information and you don't modify them. Obviously, you can't do that for certificate of origin, sanitary certificate, phytosanitary certificate, a bunch of certificate that you can't do it. But if it's issued by your supplier, then there is no special reason for them to do that, man. Yeah, man. Why wouldn't you? Man? The value of the document is basically the value of the issuer. Yep, I agree with Franco. The ex-traders who are brokering are consultants, but they have over like 20 years experience in the industry. Yeah, exactly. You see, man. So, but even for them, man, they struggle to really like monetize their 20 years of experience because it's the world has changed, man. How do you handle the relationship with your competitor in niche market? So do you share market insight with them? Yeah. I mean, it depends. All right, it depends which one, but I could say that most of my good friends, they were also doing the same stuff as me. So, but most of the time, you kind of know with whom people are working, and then you will share insight about the market, but not one that could hurt you directly. But you call them all the time to know what is going on the market for sure, and you need to be able to give them information. Otherwise, they would not call you afterward. They would not reply to you. So, but yeah. To what? This is okay. This is the price of wood pallet, I guess. I'm a bit late. Impossible to keep producer hidden due to traceability. Always a way to know. Yeah, sure. I mean, honestly, but Nicolas, it's because you do a lot of food stuff. It's true that in some commodity you can do that, but yeah, at the end, if you need to hide the origin just to keep your margin, man, you're doing it wrong. When working with new clients, do you usually send the goods straight to them or first to a logistic warehouse so they can check and pay? And it depends, check and pay with a lot of commodities, your margin doesn't really allow you to do that. So if it's a big client and I'm sure about the product, I would just send to the client and say to look, check and pay at your premise. And if you're not happy, then I'll take it back. But obviously, to do that, you need to make sure about the client and also to make sure about the quality that you're going to ship. But yeah. But sometimes you send samples also. Man. Hong Kong is solid, yeah. I was in Hong Kong 10 days ago. Love the city. Organic jurisdiction for commodity trading. What about if your customer in Europe and North Africa? Yeah, then somewhere in Europe is maybe the best way. North Africa is not that bad, so maybe Europe is still okay. Yeah, prepayment, exactly. People are just scared to ask for the money. Yeah, yes, man. Most of the time, all right, man. True story, man. Most of the time, when I'm with a new buyer, and the guy is like, "Yeah, I need a 60 days payment term," I'm like, "No, dude. Let's start. We can start. Maybe we can work toward this, but we need to do something different. And you need to prepare first, and then start the conversation. But don't take the maybe one guy give them 60 days, but like not everybody. And if everybody give them 60 days payment term, so that's mean that they have a credit insurance. So why won't you take a credit insurance yourself and then you do the factoring on the guy? I know factoring is expensive, but then you can also offer them 60 days. Similarities. Man, US. Oh my God, Gerald, man. It's going to be tough for you, man. I know some guy, they give back their nationality because it was too bad. There's one name, there's one bank. I think it's owned by Julie. All right, there's one bank in Swiss, in the Swiss German part of Switzerland. But man, one guy told me about that. That could maybe open it, but man, US citizen, man, it's going to be tough, man. I'm in Namibia and looking for timber and charcoal buyer. Yeah. But man, if you know what, do it the other way, Nestor. Try to find buyers of anything in Namibia. It's easier to find buyers in your home country rather than hoping for some overseas buyers. I'm thinking in terms of countries where the small supplier can be very inconsistent, so financing can give you more certainty and control. Yes, completely agree. But it's way more risk. Does having finance or everything in commodity trading? No, it's mostly going to make you lose more money. Definitely not, man. Definitely not, man. Because then, and honestly, there's a lot of companies that have extremely well capitalized that have no financing problem. So no. All right, guys, I'm going to take a few more questions, man. And thanks a lot for so many people, man. Thanks for being here, guys. Hi, Damien. I hope you're doing well. My question is not about brokering, but I want to know how to manage networking in Switzerland because the industry is so secretive. Yes, I'm in Switzerland, and the problem is Swiss people is I'm one of them, and we don't like Swiss people don't like other people, man. So they it's quite tough. So, but what I would do in Switzerland, like, if you are there, is like there's a bunch of how is it called? CTA Commodity Trade Association. They do networking event. There's another one in Lausanne by my friend. Man, there are a bunch of networking group. There's like the maritime something also. Try to go there. It's a bit formal, man. It's not going to be the wildest night of your life, but at least bit by bit you will get somewhere. Thanks, Ami. Yeah, those guys. I think those guys. Yeah, Silo, man. Man. Anyway, man, really, if I will think about a UK's, but man, in Switzerland is going to be very, very tough. You missed my first question. You'd better. Oh shit. All right. Instead of broker, what do you think about financing small-scale miners and training the output as a new company, or should you complete some trade in a company first and finance the mine later? The problem that you are going to have with financing small-scale miners is that they are going to burn your money, man. So that's going to be the problem. It's like if there are small-scale miners that depend on what you call small-scale. But if you just want to like finance artisanal miner to go get some product out, most of the time they are artisanal miner because they don't really know what they are doing. Otherwise, they will be a proper junior company. So then if you finance them, they will burn your money. I mean, they burnt my money. So this is how I know. And so it's very, very difficult. So if you are still willing to do that, yes, finance the miners, get the product, and then you will find a buyer. It's not a problem. Once you have the product on the floor, man, you will find a buyer. It's definitely not an issue. What are your thoughts on the growing commodity trading in UAE? Yeah, I think it's okay. Europe is making it impossible to have a commodity trading company because of the compliance of the bank. So people are moving to UAE. People are moving to Hong Kong more. People were not really sure about Hong Kong, but I think from what I understood, people are moving back to Hong Kong, opening company again. And Singapore start to have the same problem as Europe. So yeah, I think UAE will keep growing, even though it's very difficult to work with the UAE bank. They don't really understand trade finance. Then what is the best commodity in 2026 factoring the man? What Bitcoin, man? No, but I'm kidding. But it's just, man, you need to give me specific, and then because this means nothing in best commodity to what, man? Is it good enough choice to open a LC in Estonia for trading as it quick? Man, may not be the worst place, but I don't know enough to tell you, but may not be the worst idea. All right, guys. So it's 1 hour. I will try to do more live calls, live stream like this. I really do wish you a nice Sunday, and thanks a lot for the attendance. And yeah, don't be a broker. Don't be a broker. Don't be a broker. Right? I'll find you, man. If you, I'll find you, man. Don't do that, man. All right. Ciao, ciao.